Ticker symbol FNGR could be preparing itself for a pullback. Let's go ahead and go over the potentials now for the following sessions. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is Arca coming at you with an FNGR technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this Sunday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, team, so we're looking at FNGR here on the 6-hour chart, and these are essentially all the targets that we made to the upside that were in fact met, right? So late Friday, we were actually expecting to see if we can get up to that 525 to 538 level. Unfortunately, the candle ended up leading to a high of about 502 before an immediate retracement, and then in the post hour, we actually ended up getting a pushback to around that 466 level. What I would like to point out here is the immediate short-term time frame, momentum versus volatility, just so that we can get a clear shot as to what could be happening here. So let's start off with the 30-minute, okay? So please take a look at this right over here, okay? I'm going to make it a little larger so that we can see exactly what's happening within these indicators down here, right? So I'm also going to pull the price action down just a bit and now continue. Okay, so just like always, we start off with the 30-minute time frame to see what that momentum could be saying, okay? So notice here that volatility is incredibly decreasing here, which is typical when you are getting sell, right? So, or a dispersion of return, meaning outbound cash. Another way that you can actually tell by that is actually here. You see in the histogram back here, that is the money flow index. Okay, so this is stochastic momentum versus money flow. Stochastics with a downside pivot, as we can see here as well. And we actually have the histogram increasing sell pressure. Okay, so that can be take profits, all kinds of stuff, right? MACD also printing its second bar of red and getting a bearish cross right over here. So remember, this is the 30-minute time frame. These things are likely to live out pretty fast. So next time frame that we want to look at, of course, is to see how far the 30-minute is cascading, right? So it's cascading into in the hourly time frame now. We're getting a downside here on that EMA 3 versus the SMA 14, decreasing volatility as well. The moving average on, the RSI signal on the RSI has moved below the moving average, so that's suggesting a continuation to the way down as well. We're about to get that MACD cross right here on the hourly time frame too, and we're getting that first red bar of bearish pressure. Okay, so and also notice on the histogram here on money flow that we are getting outbound cash, right? So not bad. Let's go ahead and look at the bi-hourly time frame. Bi-hourly time frame also suggesting a downside here, except the only difference that we're noticing here is that we're getting an increase of volatility while the downside is happening. So what does that mean? Usually when volatility increases, that means that you're, in essence, hitting the gas pedal when facing to the downside. Remember that volatility is direction neutral. So if we're getting an increase of volatility here and we're getting a downside suggestion here, that means that we're hitting the gas on the downside and very likely to continue onto the downside until we find a relevant support. Okay, so what we want to find for some support, if we're speaking of indicators here, then we want to see the RSI indicator find the SMA 14 above it. So we're going to have to move upside on the time frames to see where we can get that RSI signal represented by that light blue line to see where it's above the SMA 14 and suggesting a support from it. Okay, so this we're going to just continue moving on here. Okay, so the 4-hour time frame, this is a time frame where I start to give some serious credibility to whatever direction we're suggesting. Okay, so for example here, the RSI is kind of getting a little bounce to the upside, but stochastic momentum is incredibly oversold. We're decreasing volatility and suggesting a downside here. Right, so as you can see here on the MACD, we're actually starting to print more of those green bars that are not that dark, right? So this is indicative of a potential weakness coming into the market. 6-hour time frame. Let's take a look. 6-hour time frame is also showing a downside here in stochastics, decreasing volatility as well. Except that here, I mean, MACD is showing a little bit of weakness too. Except that here, the RSI is suggesting an upside continuation. Okay, so what that tells me is that in the immediate short-term time frame, we could potentially see a resistance. Very likely to be between 471 upwards of around 496, right? Before we get a retracement. What I can tell you is that $5 is as well. You know, some people don't believe in this, but some people do. But it appears as though this could be a belief from this asset itself, is that breaking the $5 mark is a psychological target as well. So a lot of people are going to want to take profits from that from that top side as well and reaccumulate here so that we can continue on to the upside. Okay, as you all may already know, this has a lot of synthetic shares to be covered, right? So millions and millions of them. So who knows who knows what this upside is going to entail, right? So actually, one very curious thing that I wanted to talk to you about here is actually this. So this was one of the lessons that I actually talked about with my master students just about a few weeks ago. And a few weeks ago, we had the price action right about here, right? So I was saying, well, there could be a pullback and then we would get that liftoff, right? So, and the reason why I said this is because this downside here with the 3 pivots is very similar to the price action that GME and AMC did right before their run. Right, I'm talking about the June run and January run of AMC in particular. Okay, so this formation, and this is where a lot of my master students got like, "Whoa, are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, this is suggesting what it's suggesting, so we're potentially going to get that upside soon." And look what happened, right? So yeah, very good things here. I have been keeping an eye on FNGR for quite some time. Also, moderator and analyst Sebastian Lim, right in the Discord, has also kept a close eye on ticker symbol FNGR. In fact, I wouldn't have kept an eye on it if it wasn't for him. So go ahead and follow the Discord, say hi to him, and say hi to the rest of the people there. Very nice community. Okay, team. So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here and take a look at the 8-hour time frame here. Please notice that the 8-hour time frame is starting to show that could be around the time where we find some support. This is where the RSI is facing downward, and we're getting that SMA 14 right down here. Okay, so that's kind of the space that I was looking for. Okay, so now if we were to kind of put a quick guess here as to where that downside can lead to, well, we can do that. So let's go ahead and speculate right now. Okay, so let me just make the price action a little bit bigger here, load up some moving averages, and see what the deal can be. Okay, so this is a pretty large fall. I'm definitely favoring this area here, of course, right? So 424 is essentially the take profit of several times we actually face that resistance there. So why I'm mentioning this target here is because we have the 3.618 at 410. So if I were to put a quick guess on this, right? So this is very discretionary. There's no back test regarding this, and there's no proof of anything, right? In fact, what we're talking about here is for paper trading, right? Simulator trading. We want to make sure to keep retail safe, right? So let's go ahead and just take a look at this here. And that would be the range of about 410 to 424. And this candle low here, this previous 8-hour candle iteration, as you can see right back here on the L, go ahead and notice that L up there. It says 410, right? It rhymes very well with the 3.618 at 410. And we all know that the sentiment usually likes to take the targets or the price action to the 618 golden means. The 2.618, 1.618, the not 618 here, right? 4.618 up there. So yeah, we have lots of confluence here with that 410. So we'll go ahead and keep an eye on that target too. In the event to where price action does suggest or does show indications of a continuation to the way down, then it would be safe for us to look at the SMA 10 located at about 390 to about the bottom side of the range that we're looking at here, located at about 383. Okay, so those are essentially the two zones that I'm looking at. This range, well, I guess I can just draw it in real quick so that we can have it in consideration, right? So yeah, about 389 right there to the bottom side of about this target 383. Okay, so 383 would be the lower range, and the top side of the range here would be the 410 to 424 upon a pullback before a continuation to the upside. Of course, we're going to face a little bit of resistance coming up to this target here yet again, 471 to 461, but the major resistance for us to follow, of course, would be the 502, since we just created that break of market structure. But usually when we create a break of market structure like this and the high is not as profound as the previous high, that's usually kind of a blow off top, right? I don't want to say that it's going to capitulate all the way to the bottom. What I can actually see here is that there's still momentum and volatility suggesting a continuation to the upside. So we want to keep that in mind as well. Okay, team. So yeah, temporary pullback before a continuation to the upside. These are the loading zones that I am looking at for myself. We'll go ahead and evaluate them on the AM for intraday trading, right? Another thing that we could look at here for a type of downside is actually this. So I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce the algorithms here. So we're gonna go as I partnered up right with the creators of Cryptex Trading and Indicators, and now we're gonna be releasing the very much newly updated ARC indicators. Okay, so go ahead and send me an email down here, as this is one of them that I'm going to be introducing for now. I'm going to be introducing them as we move. So 30-minute time frame, right where we were starting, right? Go ahead and notice that we have a short signal here suggesting a downside. And if we were looking at this on the daily, of course, we still haven't gotten that short signal there because it's a long-term time frame. But we ended up getting that long signal here on the Armor indicator right at about 140. So, very interesting for us to get that long signal here on the daily candle, right? We would have been massively up, right? So very good stuff here. Very nice to know. Okay, right over here as well, right? We got let's see, we got a short signal right at the opening of this candle here, which was at about 187. Price action ended up coming down from 187 to, let's see, to the better part of about 128, which was a 31 spot, 84% gainer based on the signal here. So very, very interesting indicator. It has been updated, and it has, it has some new colors and stuff. So let's go ahead and remember to send me an email here if you would like to be updated with the release of this, as we are going to be accepting some pre-orders as well before launch. Okay, so please let me know on this indicator here, and go ahead and speak to Ike as well, right? So this is the name right here. We're going to go ahead and put it just like this. So speak to Ike or me at the arcindicators@gmail.com, and we'll get you situated as soon as humanly possible. Okay, team. So please remember first and foremost that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.